As we continue to chat with the latest class of the Wittenberg Hall of Honor, our next inductee from the class of 2006 is Daniel Russ, men's basketball All-American. And Dan, thanks for taking some time with us as we celebrate your induction into the Hall of Honor and look back on a tremendous career on the hardwood. First of all, tell me a little bit about your thoughts on being inducted into the Hall of Honor at a place like Wittenberg, where there's been so much athletic success and so many standouts over the years in all sports. To join this group has to be pretty special.
It's you hit the nail on the head. It's amazing just understanding the rich history that that the program has and the players that have come before me. I thought about this conversation and some things the last month or two, and it's I keep coming back to the teammates that I had around me and the people that came before me. I mean, it's crazy to come into a school that had such a foundation already built. That sure put me in a good position to be able to succeed. Great coaches, tradition of great coaches and great players. It means a lot to your question to be able to join the ranks of some of the best players in the school's history. And but I certainly don't forget about every single person that I played with around me that put me in a position to be where I am. So it's a great honor.
Your story in terms of getting to Wittenberg is a pretty remarkable one. Your sister was a field hockey standout on campus, and you were almost a foot shorter when you were in high school, and then all of a sudden you grew really quickly. Tell us a little bit about how Dan Russ ended up as a Wittenberg Tiger.
Yeah, I was 5'10" as a freshman in high school and ended 6'7". Then grew 2 more in college, so it was a crazy pace. I was a shooting guard in high school at one point, believe it or not, and then became the center junior and senior year. So yeah, finding the school, I kind of found the program myself. It was interesting because my sister went there. Wittenberg didn't recruit me that much. So it was I was headed to Transylvania in Lexington. That was where the coach to this day, certainly, would probably have some words, for me and my choice from a friendly perspective, because we ended up playing them twice as well, once in our senior run in the tournament. So it was funny how things kind of lined up, that way. But yeah, I came up and visited my sister a couple times for siblings weekends, and going and seeing her play field hockey. And I really fell in love with the campus, the people there. That's what got me first, is just the aesthetics of the school. And then I learned about basketball after that and how good the program was. I didn't know much, at first. I didn't look into it much because I just considered that to be her school, and I was going to go somewhere else. There was a point in time I even thought about, going to a, walking on possibly to a D2, D1 school and going a different route, or even not playing basketball as well too. So there's a lot of different things going through my head. And, I was happy that I finally connected with Coach, and it was my sister that introduced us. I think she reached out to Coach Brown and said, "Hey, you should talk to my brother. He's still looking around." This is late in the process. I mean, this is fall of 2002. My senior year in high school, maybe getting into the to the end of high school, where I'm still trying to make that decision. And we finally started talking over the phone. Had a formal visit. I think I really got hooked in. I came and watched the team play. And there was a side of me at that point. I came and watched, they were top 10 in the country at that point. I'm looking at these guys, at that point I'm 6'7", 170, soaking wet. So seeing some of the guys on the floor, BJ Harris, Kevin Longley, I think Brian Gratch, maybe Greg Rustad, was that, some of these guys were just put together. They were older. They, 6'8", 6'9" across the board. And I'm like, man, I don't even know if I can come here and play and get playing time. So I'm almost fearful of joining because they were that good. And I slowly learned that. So yeah, finding the school was a great match. And, I couldn't have picked a better journey. It shaped my entire life. So I got my sister to thank for that, certainly my parents. And there's a lot of people that helped, kind of pave that way.
In addition to going to school with your sister for a year, she is being inducted into the Hall of Honor with you. So we talk about Wittenberg being such a special place with multiple generations attending and siblings attending, but what's it like to be able to go into the Hall of Honor with your sister?
It's the best part of my experience, doing this is having her do it with me as well. My sister she's my only sibling. So I looked up to her when I was young. We went through those stages where we fought when we were kids and, she's my older sister and then you get to, a respectful place with your sibling as you age. And I always looked up to her athletic ability. I mean, she was a heck of a softball player growing. I mean, just home runs for days. Every time I'd watch her at the park when I was younger, I'm like, man, she can kill the ball. Great basketball player in high school, field hockey, obviously. Joined lacrosse in college and, joined and played with them as well, and didn't really have any experience with that sport up until that point. So that is and Coach Brown, I talked to him a few months back and I was telling him the same thing. That's the thing that I love the most about this, put me aside. Like, I love that my sister's going in. I get to be around her, in that time that makes me so happy. And it's so well, deserved on her end. So I'm excited to be going in with her.
While you were in a Tigers uniform, 99 wins over 4 years. And as you said, the program was already one of the top programs in the country. But at what point did you feel like you could not only be a contributor, but have a really special career at the college level in a program like Wittenberg's?
I think it formed over, kind of the end of my freshman year into sophomore year. You kind of saw the organic leadership that existed amongst the players that were seniors and they were the captains, and you're doing the conditioning early in the season. So you really get acclimated with how the chemistry of the team is built. And as, guys get older, and some guys, became leaders before they were seniors, sophomores and juniors. So I think for me, it was confidence as well. As you mentioned, I grew a lot, right? And so my growth, physical growth, mental growth, agility was all late in my career. So it was even during my freshman year where I was still growing, my confidence was building alongside, my physical, maturity. So, when I got through my freshman year and towards my sophomore year, I think that's when things started hitting me, where I have a good opportunity to start this year, to be in the starting lineup and, to really contribute, because I started turning it on more the second half of my freshman year. And, I think that really, ignited me. And, that summer was probably the biggest jump for me, physically. I was in the weight room. I lived at Wittenberg. Every summer I was at school. I stayed at the university. I was working up at the gym, I believe, that summer, going into my sophomore year. I was around the gym. I was working out, and, things just kind of came together at that point. And that really puts a big confidence, booster and a big mental, push into your system to say, hey, I can really be a part of something special here. And, to say something else too, going back to my freshman year, I was coming in with, guys like Kenny Brady and Dane Borchers and Phil Steffes, and some other guys that didn't stay with the team, throughout those 4 years, that we had conversations our freshman year that were serious conversations, given our age and everything, and maybe some immaturities here and there, that we wanted to win a national championship when we were there. And we were very adamant, to that. That's all we spoke that into existence very early on. And therefore we kind of put in the work. We kind of set that goal collectively amongst some of the younger guys. So that confidence and kind of, group thinking, I think, put us in a good position to be able to, contribute to the team, contribute to the history of the program, and put it in a way that, we were really, attacking one common goal. So it was, that's a pretty special thing to have.
Obviously, you had plenty of individual accolades that came your way during your Tiger career, a Conference Player of the Year award, All-American honors. But I know you and I have talked about this before. The team accomplishments are the things you really hang your hat on. And you kind of, during your 4 years, built on that success all the way to the national championship game your senior year. During your senior season, expectations were high, I think, going into that year. But did you feel like, or at what point did you feel like that team had a chance to play for a national championship?
All year. We never doubt. I've read some things here and there that it was kind of like an unexpected run, and for us it wasn't at all. Like we knew what we wanted. we knew there would be tough games, throughout that year. And we also knew that, we put together a season. And this is the thing, sophomore and junior season, we were upset first round by John Carroll. And that really sat, I think, with us, for those 2 years and going into our senior year. So we didn't talk about it. We didn't say, hey, we're winning it this year. It just was kind of an understood pain that existed, that we hadn't got past that first hump of winning one tournament game. So for us from day one, I think it was the Rochester tournament in New York that we started off at my senior year. We won that. I'm sure we started off on some type of streak to begin, a win streak, and dropped a couple games here and there. I think Worcester beat us a couple times, and Wabash beat us the last regular season game of the year. Maybe that had some play into it going into the tournament. That was a good loss for us to have. And throughout the year, I mean, we just kept grinding. We kept the mindset. Again, that conversation back to freshman year, that was always there internally. And again, we didn't sit there and talk about how we're going to win it every time that we practiced or we're at a game, but it was a very honest, goal we had, and it was serious. So yeah, we expected to get as far as we did. We expected to win. We know how that kind of played out. It didn't go our way, but it was an awesome run and very special.
After your college career ended, you played overseas for a bit and then got into the coaching ranks. Basketball is in your blood, obviously, even to this day. What are the things that you take away from your 4 years at Wittenberg that have helped develop you into the person you are today?
It's basketball. It's the academics of Wittenberg. It's the social, the social side of Wittenberg too. The people I met. There's so much that when I really look back, and certainly the best 4 years of my life to get the best decision, I could have made to join the university and the program. But it from a basketball standpoint, it put me in a great spot to be able to play. After that, listen, I would never have played over in Europe if our team, if I didn't have guys around me that that contributed to our success, because I was able to we got to a point in the Final Four, we were on TV, right? It's a college sports network. That's how I was found by a gentleman that was an agent and put me in contact with some teams. I did a tryout, so I wouldn't have gotten that exposure. Our team wouldn't have gotten there if we wouldn't have had the talent collectively across the board. But yeah, and also going back to the university, I mean, very good challenge from an academic standpoint. I had waves of kind of commitment to the academics that really put me past when I got past college to really develop a work ethic and a commitment to learning. Really concentrate on sports in college. And that, really, put me in a good position to move into coaching and to move into that sports world. But when that was gone and the plane was gone and the coaching was over, I had to lean back on what I learned, from an academic standpoint, the people I met, the network I formed, and that, it's an area that, I couldn't have done without, I needed that to be able to, really put myself in a great spot in life to move forward. All my, a lot of my best friends are from the school, we help each other out, and it's it's definitely a beautiful, beautiful network of people that we have around us and former alums.
Well, Dan, it's not unexpected in my mind that you are going into the Hall of Honor. It's well-deserved. And thanks for taking some time with us. Congratulations on becoming a member of Wittenberg's Hall of Honor.
I appreciate it, Scott. Thank you. I just want to say thanks. I certainly want to say thanks to God, thanks to my parents, my sister, those that helped me to kind of pave that way. High school coach Mike Zabo put me in a good spot. So it's definitely an honor, and it's kudos to the program and the guys that played with me, and I appreciate the honor.